You wake up in the morning for school. You turn on the television, and this cartoon with bright and colorful animals pop up on the screen. The catchy theme song pulls you in, and you start singing along to its hypnotic tune. The dream of becoming the very best with the goal of catching them all pulls you into their world. What could this captivating cartoon be? The name is Pokemon. If you somehow don't know what Pokemon is, let me catch you up real quick. Pokemon is a role-playing video game developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo. The series was created by Ken Sugimori when he decided to come up with a game that captured his favorite hobby as a child, which was bug collecting. Pokemon Red and Green was released in 1996 for Japan. Then 2 years later, it would be released outside of Japan as Pokemon Red and Blue. Once the Pokemon craze came over to America, there was nothing we've ever seen like this before. You've got the games, the TV show, the toys, and tons of other questionable merchandise. But today, I want to focus on one of Pokemon's biggest moneymakers, their trading cards. The first set of American Pokemon cards was released in 1999 by game publisher Wizards of the Coast, which featured 102 cards, which today are considered some of the top cards many Pokemon collectors covet and would kill to have in their own collection. Card shops would be filled with kids trying to get their favorite Pokemon cards. Whenever you get a good card, you would bring it to school the next day and show it off to your friends. If you saw your friend got one of the cards you wanted, you would trade away so many of your own cards just to try to get that one. This was just another one of the crazes that Pokemon created, and it looked as if it wasn't going to stop anytime soon. As the years passed, however, kids started to grow up, and while their love for the Pokemon games might have still been there, interest in its card collecting scene seemed to dwindle. People weren't as captivated enough to go to their favorite card or comic shop to buy new cards and keep up collecting. It seemed as if Pokemon cards would just be something that newer generation of kids would keep up with, and as time had moved on, those kids would also move on to new things. However, near the start of 2020, something happened that would change the world forever. The COVID outbreak hit the world, and it hit the world hard. Businesses were forced to shut down, and many avenues of entertainment were harder and harder to come by, as many of us were forced to stay inside and do anything to keep us distracted from this reality. When suddenly, we get a visit from our old pal Pokemon again.
So my name is Brandon. I'm 24 years old, and I'm a nursing student at CSUN.
So what got you into collecting Pokemon cards?
That's a good question. So I guess I started collecting Pokemon cards because my friends started collecting it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of during the peak of COVID when we really didn't have much to do. So we kind of found a new hobby to do, which was collecting Pokemon cards.
It wasn't a coincidence that around the time me and my friends got into card collecting, that Pokemon cards were experiencing a new age of collectors. There were multiple factors that culminated in the unlikely return of Pokemon cards, and I asked Charles, a worker at a Pokemon card shop, to give us his insights on what sparked this popularity.
So Pokemon cards, they've been around. Would you say they got more popular recently?
Most definitely. Mostly because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then, people are just buying Pokemon cards. And then the influencers are all about opening Pokemon cards now too. So yes, it has been increase of popularity for sure.
Besides the pandemic, one of the biggest factors that brought Pokemon cards back to the mainstream were the streamers and influencers that streamed themselves opening card packs live to their audiences. It was exciting to watch these streamers spend thousands of dollars on old card sets just to try to get some of the most sought after cards on the market. And when they did get a hit, you could almost guarantee the chat would go wild. However, with Pokemon cards garnering so much attention and everybody wanted to buy cards again, this supply couldn't meet up with the demand. Many of the older and newer cards were skyrocketing in price, with the top cards reaching thousands of dollars. During this time, it was actually quite an expensive hobby to collect Pokemon cards, as everyone wanted to get in on it. Off the top of your head, do you know how much you spent on Pokemon cards?
Oh man. I want to say that it's probably at least $3,000 or $4,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, but that's probably on the good side. Probably more than that.
Eventually, news outlets started to pick up on these stories of celebrities such as Logan Paul and Logic buying these rare cards and card sets for thousands of dollars. Logic himself stated that as a kid he loved Pokemon, but couldn't afford to buy the cards. He would even try to trade food stamps to get some of these cards. However, as an adult, he's now able to recapture something he couldn't have as a child. Quote, "It's not about the material, it's about the experience." The mainstream attention that Pokemon cards got caused many retailers of Pokemon cards to be sold out. This got so out of hand that people were starting to fight the people that were trying to buy out the entire store. Eventually, stores such as Target had to limit the number of cards people could buy, with some flat out not even selling Pokemon cards anymore. It's crazy to think that people would actually fight over little pieces of cardboard, but with how much these cards were going for, it's not that surprising.
Like, what's your most expensive Pokemon card that you have right now?
Oh.
Get it?
Let me open my collection real quick. The big Pikachu. It's a VMAX alternate art Pikachu. It's like a rainbow rare, and I'd say it's probably about like $300 right now.
Really?
Yeah, and I got this from a $5 pack that I bought in Vegas.
Do you remember like the most expensive Pokemon card that you sold?
Most expensive Pokemon card I've sold. I think it was a $500 Vaporeon Gold Star.
And
I believe so.
It was also during like the pandemic time when everything was like.
I believe
kind of
so,
more.
yeah. So like before, people would be standing in line trying to like scalp and stuff. There's less of that now because there's more of a supply. There's more supply, so the demand goes down.
Although Pokemon cards are slowly stabilizing in price now that the craze has died down a little, this new wave of people it brought into card collecting has paved the way for a new generation to start the cycle all over again. Card collecting has somewhat hit the mainstream as rappers, streamers, and influencers are spending ridiculous amounts of money on Pokemon cards. Personally, I like the thrill of opening Pokemon cards with your friends, as even if you get a dud or you hit it big, you get to have fun with your friends. I hope this craze gets more people to collect with their friends too, because they get to relive what many other kids did when they went to that shop and bought that first pack.